The night is cold, the sky moonless, and the air feels heavy. In the distance you hear it, a haunting cry, mournful and chilling. It doesn't sound human, yet it stirs something deep in your chest. Could it be the wind, or is it a warning? You stop and listen, but part of you wishes you hadn't. This is the sound of the Banshee, a spirit from Irish folklore, whose mournful wails are said to foretell death. Tonight, we delve into the origins, stories, and mysteries surrounding one of the most haunting figures in mythology, the Banshee. The Banshee, or Bean Seedy in Irish Gaelic, translates to Woman of the Fairy Mound. She is deeply rooted in Irish mythology and is believed to be a messenger from the otherworld. In Celtic tradition, the otherworld was not a place of torment, but a realm where spirits resided. The Banshee is said to appear when death is near, not as a bringer of death, but as a warning. Her cry, known as the cowing or keening, is a mournful wail that can be heard for miles. The Banshee is often tied to ancient Irish families, particularly those with surnames like O'Neill, O'Brien, or O'Connor. Legends say she appears to warn these families of an impending death, offering a chance to prepare for the inevitable. The Banshee's appearance varies depending on the tale. In some stories, she is a beautiful young woman with flowing silver hair and pale skin, dressed in white or grey. In others, she takes the form of an old hag with hollow eyes, rotting teeth, and tattered clothing. Regardless of her form, her presence is always accompanied by an overwhelming sense of sorrow and dread. But it's her cry that truly defines her. It's described as a wail that cuts through the night, a sound so mournful that it sends chills down your spine. Some say it resembles the cries of a grieving woman, while others describe it as a high-pitched scream that echoes endlessly. The Banshee doesn't interact with humans directly, she's simply there to mourn and warn. But those who hear her cry know that death is near. The Banshee's cry has a real-world connection to the ancient Irish tradition of keening. In traditional Irish funerals, a woman known as a Bean Cowant would wail and sing to express grief for the deceased. This practice was both a form of mourning and a way to honor the dead. Over time, this cultural practice may have inspired or merged with the legend of the Banshee, but unlike the human keeners, the Banshee's wail comes not at the time of death, but before it, adding an otherworldly layer to the mourning tradition. One of the most famous tales of the Banshee involves the O'Brien family, one of Ireland's oldest clans. It's said that in the 18th century, a member of the family heard the Banshee's cry on the night before his death. Witnesses claimed they saw a pale woman combing her hair outside the family estate, her wailing carrying on the wind. Another story tells of a group of travellers who camped near a river in County Kerry. That night they heard an unearthly cry and saw a figure draped in a flowing white dress, moving along the water's edge. The next day, one of the travellers was found dead, with no explanation for his passing. These tales, passed down through generations, keep the legend of the Banshee alive. Whether they are stories of coincidence or something more, they add to her eerie mystique. Today, the Banshee has moved beyond Irish folklore and into popular culture. She's appeared in movies, TV shows, and even video games, often portrayed as a ghostly figure or a vengeful spirit. While these portrayals focus on her frightening aspects, the original legends paint her as more of a tragic figure, a being of sorrow tied to the inevitability of death. Even in modern Ireland, the idea of the Banshee persists, especially in rural areas where her cries are said to be heard in the still of the night. Some see her as a relic of the past, while others believe she's still out there, watching and waiting. So, is the Banshee a mere myth, a symbol of our fear of death, or something more? Her story has endured for centuries, woven into the fabric of Irish culture and whispered across generations. If you found yourself walking through the Irish countryside on a dark, lonely night and heard a wail in the distance, what would you do? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more tales from the world of folklore. Until next time, may your nights be quiet and your paths be safe.